it's so amazing to talk to a legend on the phone, man. I've been looking forward to this.
Well, you're very kind.
Dead Daisies coming to town Wednesday, September 22nd, Elevation 27 in Virginia Beach. And I love the lineup you guys have. The new album you just put out, Holy Ground, last year. You guys are rocking it.
Yeah, it's going well. I mean, we're one of the first bands to go out internationally. So we're very excited about coming to Virginia Beach.
You're going to love it. How's, I know, with everything like going on, how's this tour, say, different from other tours compared to the current environment of what we're dealing with?
Well, the difference is technically we're doing a show, as you know. Show is going to be a show. It's the other stuff. It's the preparation to the show. It's the we choosing to stay on the tour bus rather than going to the venue for, changing and dressing rooms and we normally have catering and we can't do that right now, so we're ordering our own food. We're trying to be proactive here, and if one of us gets sick, you've heard the story, one guy or girl gets sick in our crew, it's over. So we just have to be very, very careful.
Gotcha. Hey, by the way, the restaurant at Elevation 27, tremendous food.
Great. That's a good thing to know.
So yeah, I don't know when you get the menu or whatever, but yeah, they got some good stuff there. So
what we'll do then, we'll order from that menu, and yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks for letting me know.
You're welcome. I don't know if you're a meat eater still, but Reuben sandwich, I love the Reuben. It's I can go for one. It's been a while.
Well, thank you for letting me know the deal.
You're welcome. I want to talk about the band because I know you guys just put out the Holy Ground album last year, which you sound amazing. The band's tight. It's heavy. It's heavy. I mean, it was heavy when I went to go listen to a couple of tracks. It was like dang, man, you guys are still crushing it. I love it.
I think it's not heavy metal, but it's a heavier album than some previous Dead Daisies albums. I wanted to bring a little bit more riffs into it. So, yeah, I think it's done really well.
Is that, I would say, like your influence from your background? I mean, obviously the band's been around for a while, but you joined them a couple of years ago. And is it just part of that?
Yeah, I mean, if I can say this to you, if you know anything about the band, they were, in my opinion, in their opinion as well, they were more 80s sounding. And they wanted me to bring my 70s vibe with me, and we decided we'd make a more 70s sounding. I know it sounds ridiculous, but, I'm a retro artist, and that's who I am. So they wanted to bring more of a 70s vibe, and we've done that.
I could definitely hear that. Well, because, I mean, they've had a lot of lineup changes, because it's a big super group. So, like Dean was in there for a while. I know Dean was on the album. He's not on the tour. So I think, a lot of those guys had that 80s rock influence.
Yes. And for me, it ticked the boxes for me because I'm not an 80s music fan. So the 70s is more inclined to what I would prefer.
Yeah. And how does it feel, just be fronting the band and doing all this and just, how does that feel? Just, working with these guys who've been doing this for a long time.
It's good for me. They asked me when I come in if I wanted to be in a band because I'm a solo artist and to be in a band again because I'm still in a band with, funny enough, with Joe Bonamassa, Black Country Community. Still, we'll make another album at some point. But for me to be in a band where it's a band was interesting for me because I like to participate with other guys in the band. So this is definitely a collective effort.
Yeah, how did I want to say how do they find you? Because sometimes I'll ask a guy who's a replacement, but how did this happen? How did you become a part of the band? Because your resume is pretty dang impressive, and we're going to ask you about Black Country Community in the moment. But how did you become a part of Dead Daisies?
It was at the beginning of 2019. I got a call from my manager who said they were contacting him about taking a meeting with me. And when I met with David Lowery, guitar player, they had been checking my availability out for quite some time, as a couple of members of the Dead Daisies were going to leave. And I thought, is this an opportune moment for me to, stay out? I mean, I'd done a 3-year tour playing Deep Purple classic songs that I wrote in 2017 to 2020-ish. And I wanted to take a break from that. And when the Dead Daisies came calling for me, I thought this is an opportune moment for me to switch gears and be part of a band again.
Nice. Now, you mentioned David because he's the guy, I think, from Australia, right, that put this band together?
Correct.
Yeah.
Lovely fellow.
Is he just like, and I'm trying to read more about him, he just seems like he's a big music guy, and he's kind of living the rock dream, if you will, right?
Yes, you know the story. I mean, David is a businessman, as you know.
Yep.
We all know it. But his desire to play music and to be in a rock band is immense. He really, really works hard at it. You know, he's a businessman, but he brought a lot to the table here. So we love this, and we love the fact that we get a chance to play to as many people as we can.
Yeah. And then how did you guys, because I know Tommy just joined the band. He's from my hometown area of Detroit.
Yeah. Love it. Yeah, Tommy came in. Dean had some troubles. He had to have some surgeries this year, and he just couldn't work. And we were getting ready to start, preparing his tour. So we had to move forward, and unfortunately Dean could not long with, and Tommy came in, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah, he's, and like I said, it's amazing, like all your resumes, because he played with Sabbath on the reunion tour, and some of the others he's played with, and it's just amazing. That's what I'm looking forward to. Wednesday night, September 22nd, Elevation 27 in Virginia Beach. You did mention Black Country Communion. I was going to ask you about that, and this is great because I can now check off 3 of the 4 members I've now interviewed. So I just have to get a hold of Derek at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe, I saw Joe and Derek on my birthday a couple of weeks ago. We are, not gearing up, but we are going to do another album when the window of opportunity opens to do that. And Joe and I also spoke about doing some sort of a tour, I don't know how long it will be, to promote the album, because we haven't done that for a while now. We released the last album and didn't tour behind it. We did 2 shows, which wasn't enough, but we like to do an album and some shows.
Gotcha. You love to stay busy, which is pretty good. What is the plan for when Dead Daisies wraps up this tour? Is it going to be more recording? Is it good? Like sometimes the band takes a break and they say, "Hey, we'll reconvene in a year." What's the plan?
The one thing lockdown gave an opportunity to do for me is I wrote a lot of new songs, which we're going to look at recording at the end of this year.
Nice. Is it nice too with, like, I'm assuming because the last album was recorded, but before everything kind of happened last year, were you able to record in person then? Yeah.
I mean, the last one was recorded in the south of France, which was fantastic, in a chateau.
Nice.
And it was on November and December 2019, and it was right before the pandemic. And when I listen to these songs and the lyrical content, it's like, whoa, what's going on here? And then, the album's been out now and everybody's understanding what the album is about. And I think it's people are digging it. And this is the biggest Dead Daisies album they've ever made. So I'm really happy about that.
No, it sounds great. Yeah, Holy Ground coming out late last year and checking out that. And, My Fate was like, I think this new single you guys just put out, and it's like, man, damn. And it sounded good, Glenn.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. We're very, very happy about it all.
Has your vocal approach changed at all from from the Deep Purple days until now? I mean, how do you keep the voice sounding like you do?
I had a conversation with a lot of famous other older singers than me about how to continue doing what I do. We do. It really is about exercising the vocal cords and what we eat and how we exercise. When someone sings in the manner that I do, I have 4 or 5 octave range. It's important for me to warm the vocals up. It's super. I got to do. I'm doing it all the time in the afternoons before the show, and that's exercising the vocal cords is very important.
That would make sense. Yeah, I talked to John Anderson a couple years ago, and he just sounded like John. I mean, he just knew it sounded like John Anderson from Yes, but just. But the same thing I think you kind of said, where the voice, like it's that many guys that can still do that, and then when I heard like the album's like, well, dang man, he's rocking it still, which I love.
Again, I think it's the no fear aspect. I just don't overthink it when I'm singing. I think, I say with this respect, you can see some people, some great singers, thinking about the next note, and it's if you start thinking too much, when a soccer player goes to take a penalty, if he thinks he's going to miss it, he's going to miss it. So for me, it's a matter of being in the moment when I'm actually doing my performance and having faith in that everything's going to be just fine.
Yeah. How did it feel to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Oh, it was wonderful. I mean, it was a great event. David and I were inducted with Deep Purple because of the music we made with Deep Purple was a great thing for David Coverdale and myself. So we got inducted, and it was a wonderful night. I am very lucky and fortunate the Hall of Fame asked me to be a global ambassador for them. So I do go to Cleveland a couple of times a year to do work with them. So I'm very, 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 very proud. My parents are very proud of me. So.
Well, it always seems like on the English side of things, where the hall doesn't seem as big as it does to maybe some American artists. I'm always curious to just how the feeling is over there, because there's some bands who are like, yeah, okay, that's cool, and then they don't show up, or just kind of play it off.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame is, as you know, there's a lot of my friends that aren't in there, and it's a difficult, and a lot of fans don't appreciate that. Rock fans, why isn't that band? Why isn't my favorite band in there? I can't answer that. It's a difficult one because there's so many bands that aren't in there yet.
Yeah.
And then again, there's a lot of new bands who just came out 2 or 3 years ago that are getting in there. So it's just weird. It's just.
Yeah, it is, because it seemed like Deep Purple was overdue, because it's one of those what do you mean they're not in the Hall of Fame yet? Kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it took us a couple of years to get in. My friends in Judas Priest have not had a good luck the last couple of years, so they should be. I think they'll get in there next year.
Yeah.
I think Maiden will get in this year. It's a difficult one, and a lot of very upset people. I try and stay out of it now because I'm too closely connected to the hall.
Yeah.
So I have to. I just have to be careful how I interact like that.
I got you. You don't want to take the Todd Rundgren side of things on it. So
yeah.
I saw a story, and I want to make sure I'm seeing this right, but you were very hesitant to become a part of Deep Purple. Am I seeing that right?
Yeah, I was. I was a lead singer before I joined the band, and they wanted me to come in as a bass player that also sang as well. Paul Rodgers, they were going to ask Paul Rodgers to come in and sing, and Paul was doing Bad Company, so he had to decline. So they asked me to come in and basically be a second vocalist, a co-vocalist, instead of being the only vocalist. I was hesitant because I was 21 years old and I was setting my stall out to become the singer that we all know about now. But I have to, look, I have no problem sharing the vocal mic with anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone. But because I thought they were going to ask me to be the lead singer, but they wanted me to be a bass playing lead singer. So, and I was okay with it. I was hesitant because I wasn't quite sure, but it all worked out well.
It did. I mean, with Burn and everything else, and good stuff. How did you? I guess and you mentioned the singing and the bass playing part, because it always seems like musicians doing two things at once. How did you get that down? Playing the bass, because that's a lot of focus, and then singing at the same time.
A lot of people ask me that question. I write songs and knowing that I'm going to play them live, and I'm playing, writing on a guitar or bass guitar. I'm always trying to figure out, I've got to do this in the studio, then I have to go down and do this live. So it's something I have to figure out if I can actually do that in the live situation. So I always write songs that are going to translate to being played live.
That's very smart. Glenn, I'm looking forward to it. Wednesday, September 22nd, Elevation 27 in Virginia Beach. Get the Reuben.
I'm vegan, but I'll get something like a Reuben.
Yeah. I was wondering about that. I was like, man, I wanted to say, get the meat sandwich. He's going to tell me he's a vegetarian.
Trust me, I'll find something. I've never had a problem. Not in America, at least. I never have a problem with finding food.
Awesome. I'm trying to think. Well, no, you weren't then. I'm trying to think, like, when you've been to, like, the Virginia Beach, like, Norfolk area, and it may have been a few years.
My wife went to school in Virginia, so she's, I know all about it. I've got friends down there, so it's been a while since I've been to Virginia Beach, so I'm really, really looking forward to coming back.
Nice. You mentioned your friends Judas Priest. Scott Travis is from that area. He was just here. The band's on tour. They were just here last week. But
oh, nice. They're lovely blokes. They're lovely people. Rob Halford is one of my oldest, dearest friends.
Yeah, he sounded good. He had the big beard going on at the show last week.
I saw that. He's a good guy. Good old friend of mine.
Glenn, thank you so much. It's an honor to talk to a legend. It's a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer with Deep Purple and this stuff. You've done with your solo career, doing Black Country Communion. I appreciate everything you've done throughout the years.
Thank you, sir. And to all our fans and my fans in Virginia Beach, please come and see us. We're gonna rock your world. You have my word.
Love it. Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you, brother. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too. Good luck on the tour. We'll see you later.